The candlelight flickered across our dining room table in our cozy Montgomery home, casting long shadows that danced like ghosts on the walls. Laura paused mid-bite, her fork hovering over the pasta I'd cooked, her favorite, with the sauce she'd taught me to perfect years ago. Her blue eyes, once so full of warmth, studied me with a flicker of unease. "Why are you so quiet tonight, David?" she asked, her voice soft, almost tentative, like she was testing the waters of a lake she suspected was deeper than it appeared. I didn't look up right away. My gaze stayed fixed on my plate, tracing idle patterns in the sauce with my fork, my thoughts swirling in endless loops. The weight of what I knew pressed down on me, heavy as an anchor. When I finally spoke, my words emerged low, edged with a steel I'd honed in silence for months. "I'm just thinking about what happens when the truth finally comes out." Her smile faltered instantly, the warmth draining from her face like water from a cracked vase. She tried to mask it with a shaky laugh, lifting her wineglass as if toasting away the tension. "What truth?" she pressed, her voice trembling just enough to betray her, the fork clattering slightly as she set it down. I leaned back in my chair, watching her carefully, every micro-expression a confirmation of what I'd already uncovered. For months, I'd noticed the shifts. The late nights she blamed on work emergencies, the vague excuses for weekend getaways with old friends, the unfamiliar cologne that clung faintly to her clothes, a scent that wasn't mine. I'd said nothing at first, letting her weave her web of lies, gathering threads of evidence like a spider patiently building its trap. The distance had started small, her phone, once left open on the counter, now guarded like a secret diary. Her laughter, once shared with me over inside jokes, now reserved for texts that made her smile when she thought I wasn't looking. We'd been married for 10 years, built a life in this house with its creaking floors and sunlit kitchen where we danced barefoot on lazy mornings. I was 38, a project manager who thrived on order, and Laura, 35, a marketing consultant whose creativity had once lit up our world. But creativity can twist into deception, and hers had. The first crack appeared during a business trip last year. I'd found a hotel receipt in her suitcase, dated for a weekend she claimed to be at her sister's. I confronted her then, but she laughed it off as a work mix-up. I believed her because I wanted to. Love makes fools of us all. But doubt festered. I hired a private investigator, a no-nonsense woman named Rita who blended into crowds like smoke. 2 weeks later, she delivered a folder in a rainy cafe. Photos of Laura at upscale bars, dinners, a downtown hotel, always with him, Dylan, a slick ad executive from her firm, his arm around her waist, her head on his shoulder. Texts extracted from her cloud backup, late-night confessions of passion, plans for getaways. Each piece was a dagger, twisting deeper. I didn't rage, I prepared. Transferred funds to protected accounts, consulted a divorce lawyer who specialized in infidelity cases, found a new apartment downtown, quiet, efficient, steps in the dark. Tonight, I chose clarity. "I've seen the messages," I said, locking eyes with her. The fork clattered against her plate, her lips parting in a silent gasp. "The late-night calls, the weekends you claimed were with your sister. I know his name, where he works, even the hotel you two can't seem to stay away from." Her face drained of color, tears welling before she could form words. She stammered, "David, it's not what you think," her voice breaking, desperate. "It was a mistake, meaningless. I love you, I swear." But her excuses rang hollow, a script rehearsed for a moment she hoped would never come. I pulled back, the distance between us growing. "You've been planning this for months," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "The perfume, the locked phone, the way you pull away when I touch you. I trusted you, Laura. I built my life around us." She reached across the table, her hand trembling, searching for mine like a lifeline. "Please, we can fix this. I'll end it, I promise." But I withdrew, laying my keys on the table with finality. I've already made my choice. Pack what you need tonight. Tomorrow, you'll have the papers. Her sobs grew harsher, raw, and frantic. She swore it was a one-time slip, begged for counseling, for time to make it right. But betrayal has a weight, and once it lands, it doesn't lift. I stood, moving to the window, the city lights blurring through unshed tears. She rose, clutching my arm, her face twisted with panic. "David, don't do this. We've built so much together." I looked at her, really looked, and saw a stranger, the woman I loved replaced by someone who'd buried herself in lies. "You threw it away," I whispered, stepping free. Her voice faded as I walked to the door, her pleas echoing in the empty house. Outside, the night air was sharp, clean, like emerging from a suffocating room. The path ahead wasn't simple. Divorce hearings, dividing assets, the ache of lost years. But it was mine, free from her deception. In the weeks that followed, Laura's world unraveled. Her affair exposed to friends and family, her job suffered as whispers spread. She tried to spin it, tears, apologies, claims of my coldness, but the evidence I'd gathered silenced her lies. Dylan distanced himself, his own marriage fracturing under the scandal. I rebuilt slowly. Therapy to unpack the grief, new routines in my apartment, rediscovering hobbies like painting that she'd mocked as boring. The pain lingered, but beneath it, a spark of freedom grew. Betrayal shattered my illusions, but it forged strength. I sleep soundly now, the weight lifted, knowing I chose myself. Laura learned too late that loyalty isn't optional, and when it's broken, the quiet ones strike hardest.